Amber virus update April 9th. First, however, I want to make a couple comments on my channel and on YouTube in general. I have the worst quality editing program. I did the worst quality live streams because my phone sucks. And I guess I have the worst quality channel in terms of production value. However, I say work on high quality content first, then go to production value. For example, Transformers, Michael Bay, high quality production value, but like the writing is like it's not worth $5. And I was saying, half the budget of these big budget movies should go towards writers. Hire 20 writers, and then the movie will be amazing. Spend $50 million on writing. I knew a big shot who was like a stupid 20-year-old who thought he was going to take over the world with his movie company. And he's, we're teaching lessons, we're doing this, we got all our hands in different cookie jar, putting our eggs in different baskets, and we're going to do this, and we just did a $200,000 movie, and he just had such a ambition. But he forgot to put his phone number or his email address on his website. So yeah, slowly but surely I'll invest in a better editing program and invest my time in that kind of stuff, a better webcam. But first I'd like to make sure I know what I'm doing, and I'm still stumbling around and figuring out, am I doing live streams, and do I have dates for them, and but for now, Amber Heard, the Amber virus, I think that is a wonderful, because that's what we're dealing with right now. It is the most important thing in the world right now, is the Amber virus. And on the flip side of the coronavirus, we've got Amber Heard at the same time. The two worst things in the world are happening at the same time. And I'll double down that, triple down, quadruple down, that Amber Heard caused the coronavirus, symbolically. Like people like me, artists, scientists, all the smart people have been warning about shit like Amber Heard and the coronavirus for 50 years. And all the stock markets and all the models and actors and, they all roll their eyes. They go, oh, give me a break. There's no such thing as a virus. There's no such thing as pollution. And after this Amber virus is over, people are going to be like, oh, there's no such thing as pollution. We can dump oil in the ocean, and that doesn't mean we can't eat sushi anymore. You're being ridiculous. And then that'll hit in 10 years, and everybody once again will, oh, whoa, wow, pollution hurts the economy. And why does Amber have to do with the virus? Because she symbolizes the attitude that truth doesn't exist. Just say whatever makes you feel better and makes your life better, and just believe it, and that's all that matters. So you don't like the idea of a virus, so just pretend it doesn't exist. And that's essentially Amber Heard, right? She just says whatever works. And like the rest of the world reacting to the coronavirus, so is Amber Heard realizing that lies don't really work in the long term. And now she faces 3 years in jail. Human greed. I've known people like Amber Heard. I knew a guy who alienated his wife from her whole family because he was just a bitter, greedy asshole. And when they got divorced, he took everything. Didn't want to give her anything, leave her anything. Because he's just a greedy son of a bitch who just thinks about himself all the time. This is exactly what Amber did. I'm going to take as much money out of Johnny as possible. I'm going to destroy him to the best of my ability. No matter how much personally I hate somebody, I would never want to destroy them. Amber Heard, she fucking divorces him when his mother dies. She would have been perfectly happy if he died, if Johnny Depp died. She tried to destroy him completely, and his kids, his family, everything. Why? Because she's a masochist at heart. Every sadist, I believe, is really a masochist. She really wants to destroy herself. There's a lot of self-hate going on there. This is just somebody, if she had a button that could destroy the whole world, she would press it in a split second. And she'd be happy about it too. And that's kind of like, I don't know, the coronavirus. It's just like, it's a result of human greed, selfishness. You could have, I'm talking to the billionaires out there, you could have put research into this. The scientists were warning you for 20 years. They've been warning. It should have happened 20 years ago. We're lucky we got this far without the fucking Amber virus showing up. But instead of, researching viruses, trying to reverse shit like pollution, you were thinking about yourself and getting a new mansion and buying another jet airplane and buying your wife a nice big diamond ring. Oh, and for the record, when the petition first started to have her removed from Aquaman, everybody said she's not going to be removed from Aquaman. But I put it on YouTube right then and there. I'm like, she's going to lose Aquaman. Just watch. And the reason why is because more and more evidence is going to come out. This is just the beginning of the Amber virus. This is going to go on forever. And I also want to repeat my prediction that in a few years, she's going to be on celebrity boxing. I want her to fight Tonya Harding in celebrity boxing. She's going to need a job. Everybody has a place in this world. Amber her place might be porn. I could see that. It's basically where she belongs. She doesn't belong on the Oscars ceremony. You don't conduct yourself in public like this if you're not a classy lady, Amber. You poop in beds and you can't even fake getting beaten up. I've said this before about somebody, but this applies to Amber. It's like, it's one thing to be sick. It's okay to be a bit insane if you're smart, because your intelligence can, weather the storm of being insane. You can be like, okay, I'm crazy, so I better not drink. Or I'm crazy, so maybe I shouldn't be a swinger. Or, I'm crazy, so maybe I shouldn't drive a car or own a gun. And on the other hand, it's okay to be stupid if you're sane, right? So it's like, okay, you're not the sharpest tool, but like, you're not going to have crazy, urges. So you'll just be an average, easy to deal with person. But the worst is when you're sick and stupid. And that's what Amber Heard is, and that's just a disaster. Like, that's the worst of all. I mean, you're just a menace. She should be in jail for her own protection. This is a disaster. And, she's eventually, she is. She's destroying herself. Johnny Depp is going to come out of this looking like Mother Teresa. Everybody, the whole world's going to be apologizing to him. She made him look great in the long run. And she's like the devil bitch. I mean, she basically she used her whole reputation to buy eggs for everybody to throw at her. That's essentially what she's done. You couldn't have done it better to make the whole world hate you. She would be a genius if she intentionally went out to get hated by the whole world. Like a spokeswoman for international women's rights. That's like donating money, having your own charity and pocketing the money, and not even like hiding the fact that you're doing it. It's even worse. It's like starting a charity for sick kids and then using the charity money to kill sick kids. And the thing is, she's not getting away with it because she's not smart. But what if she was smart? Think about that. And what if she was getting away with this? How much more would she do? Right? Imagine if she was in charge of the world. Imagine what she would do. She's only harmless because she has no power. But we've seen what she did. That's the thing. We've seen what she did when she had the tiniest amount of power. How fucking nuts she went. Imagine if you gave her a gun and sent her to a high school. What she would do. Like, I got a neighbor in my building who's a lunatic, right? And it just occurred to me, like, thank God he's a moron. Because you know what? If he knew how to make a bomb, I'm not allowed to say this stuff, he would make one. If he had the power and the knowledge. Like, thank God these idiots are limited to pots and pans and things like that. And thank God they think they're victims, because they think they have consciences, because if they realized that they were psychos, oh my god, nothing would hold them back. That video of her where she's eating chips or something, she's eating food while she's being questioned about the physical abuse. You can tell she's almost enjoying it. She just loves the attention. She loves hurting people, and she loves being hated. I really believe that's at her core. She wants the world to hate her, and she's getting exactly what she wanted. Because when you're a person who's been completely abused, and I'm sure she has been, because you don't act like that. You're not a hurtful person unless something really bad happened to you. When you hate yourself this much, any attention is good attention. Like, you can't even tell the difference between being hated and loved. So if the whole world hates her, to her, that's just like attention. It's the same as good attention. A quote I heard recently from Dostoevsky, what is hell? Hell is not being able to love. And that's exactly the way I feel about Amber Heard. It's really sad. She'll never know the joy of, like, looking at enjoying a baby's smile. She'll never know that joy. Or, actually loving your dog Boo instead of just having him as an ornament. The pleasure of giving on Christmas and not thinking, I wonder what presents I'm getting. And again, I believe that that's what an adult is. An adult is somebody who would rather give than receive. Amber Heard is a child. She would rather, if she had children, she'd be thinking about what they're getting her for Christmas, on Christmas. She knows no peace. All she knows is fighting. I've met this person a million times. All she knows is fighting. She was angry at Johnny Depp because he wasn't hitting her. She said, "You have to fight if you love me." She literally said that in the audio thing, the leaked audio. If you love me, you should fight for me. Now, I don't know if I saw this in a movie or if it actually happened, but there was I just got this image of two men fighting over this girl, and the girl actually smiles and she's enjoying it because it's whoa, this is all about me, right? That's it's like every stupid young girl's fantasy, like Twilight, oh my god, this hot werewolf and this hot vampire are fighting over me, and now the whole town, the whole clan of werewolves is fighting the whole clan of vampires, and it's all about me. I started the whole thing. Think about how much money has gone into this court documents and the lawyers and the judge and the press and the YouTube videos, and it's all about Amber. I promise you that she loves this. Her abusive relationship with Johnny Depp was a microcosm of what this is. She turned the idea of marriage into a big fucking circus that's all about her. You would almost admire the publicity stunt if she knew she was doing it. She's just not aware that she's doing it. She actually takes it seriously to some degree, I think. And if it wasn't illegal, you can't actually say someone's beating you up and then put makeup on your face and then go on talk shows without the bruises at the same time that you're taking pictures with bruises and expect not to get consequences. I don't know how much she'll enjoy jail time, or it's a fun roller coaster, right, until the ride's over for her. And when the ride is over, she's not going to get attention anymore. And essentially, I keep going back to the little girl who cried wolf. It's really like that. You cry wolf, you'll get attention the first time. You'll get it the second time. But then after that, the aftermath is that nobody ever listens to you anymore when you cry wolf. And not a word you fucking say is going to be believed. If you don't, again, I said, it's become really clear to me that if you're not a man of your word, then you're nothing. If you don't have your word, you got shit. You're a worthless piece of shit. Because if you don't do what you say, then nobody will ever listen to you in the future. And I think people do take me seriously because I tend to do what I say. So you have more confidence in yourself if you know that when you say you're going to do something, you do it. It's the first rule of the 7 habits of highly effective people, I believe. Being proactive. Start by keeping promises to yourself. Because if you break promises to yourself, you lose your self-esteem. And the more you keep promises to yourself, the more you raise your self-esteem. So start with little promises and grow those promises. And as you grow self-esteem, you start knowing that you're going to do. But especially, and it's very hard to keep promises to yourself, like I'm going to quit smoking tomorrow. But you certainly would want to keep promises to other people. Like if I tell you I'm going to be there at 5 p.m., you're damn right I'm going to be there at 5 p.m. So like after this, regardless of how it ends, who's going to believe anything Amber Heard ever says again? Who? And again, I think the worst part is that she's not even going to believe what she says at the end of this. Slightly off topic, but regarding cheating, okay? One thing is, I found out, I realized, you know what cheaters always say to themselves? They say things like, oh, well, it's not like he owned her. Like if they screw their best friend's girlfriend. You didn't own her. That's what they always say when they cheat. It's like, well, you know, everybody's a free person. And it's like, well, but when you get cheated on, though, then you see how it feels, and it is all about ownership. That's why we have things like marriage. Your wife, your husband. So anyway, so these people, they rationalize cheating. They say things like that. Oh, he didn't own her. Or they say, oh, well, that's not cheating. I knew one girl who's like, well, you didn't get off, so it's not cheating, is it? No, it's cheating. It's not sex, is it? Oh, there's so many of them, these leaps. I used to joke with my friend about, let's have a platonic orgy. And then I met a girl who actually wanted to make out with a guy, and I'm like, ooh, you're that's skanky. And she goes, no, but it was it was going to be a platonic kiss. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I used to joke about that idea. Platonic sex? So you lie and you cheat, and you always have to maintain that you're a hero and you did nothing wrong, because everybody has to be a hero in their mind. They can never be a bad person. So you have to twist the rules of logic and the laws of physics around so that you're a hero. But then at the end of the day, now cheating doesn't even exist to you. Nothing's cheating and everything's cheating, so therefore there is no trust anymore with your any future spouse you have. And the same with Amber Heard. I mean, like, if everything's abuse, then nothing's abuse, and nothing's a lie and everything's the truth. I'm sure she would pass the lie detector test, by the way, because she doesn't believe in truth in the first place, so she's not technically lying. But, you know, so if Johnny Depp snapped his fingers, she could twist that into him slapping her across the face. Because it's not too much of a stretch if you just think like, well, he snapped his fingers at me. He slapped his fingers at me. He slapped me. Because she's strayed so far from the truth that it doesn't even exist anymore. She's like on planet Neptune. She should be in a mental institution for the retarded. They need a home for sick and stupid people. People who are highly unintelligent and insane. She should be institutionalized. She should not be free to walk the street. She's a hazard to herself and to others. She should have to wear a straitjacket and a helmet everywhere she goes. And a cape, just to make it funny. You know, I had a friend who was schizophrenic, and he wanted to be an actor at first. And then he realized, he's like, no, I can't handle that, like playing different people. No, you need to have something of a strong mind if you're going to try to like play different people. So perhaps being an actor is way too much for Amber Heard. Like, she's already delusional enough. She shouldn't be playing different people. She doesn't even know who she is. Like, you know, even the best of us, even the smartest people can't handle power. But she certainly shouldn't have it. Johnny Depp never should have married her. But like, listen, it's like she's like a, you know, a cute little dog, right? Like a pretty girl, cute little dog, you know. Or like George Clooney, like a good-looking guy is the same. Brad Pitt would be a cute little dog. But if you want to date him, if you want to date Brad Pitt, you're a girl, you want to date Brad Pitt, understand he's not like a smart person. So you got to treat him like a dog, train him, don't give him power, especially if you've got lots of money. He's a bimbo. Keep him on a leash, right? You wouldn't let your dog on the table, on the dinner table. Now, I'm not any better. I mean, I've done retarded things for gorgeous women before, absolutely ridiculous, and everybody rolled their eyes. You know, we're all suckers for pretty girls, but we got to start to take a note of that we're suckers and we're easily manipulated. I'll give you one example. So I'm 42, and I've matured very slowly, but I mean in terms of emotional maturity. At the age of 32, though, I'm at a bar, right? And this drop-dead gorgeous girl comes up and sits on my lap. And I'm thinking, okay, well, 10 years ago I would have thought, wow, this is great. I must be amazing. This gorgeous girl likes me. But then, you know, the more wise and mature person that I was, I said, wait a second. She does this to everybody. There's nothing special about me. So I says to her, hi, could you get off my lap? Just sit beside me. Like, if you want to get to know me, let's talk. She's like, what? And she's all surprised. And then she goes to the bartender. She goes, can you believe that he doesn't want me sitting on his lap? And he's like, shrugs. Right, she can't get over the idea that, like, she's so gorgeous and I'm asking her to get off my lap. And I said to her something like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if 5 minutes from now you're sitting on someone else's lap. You know, like, if you want to get to know me, I'd like to get to know you too, but like, there's a way to start this, and it's not by jumping on my lap. And then 5 minutes later, her friends came and she's sitting on someone else's lap. And I look over at her and she made eye contact with me, and I could tell she was embarrassed. But I mean, you still have to guard yourself. And the older you get as a guy, the more desperate you are for, like, a gorgeous girl to be interested in you. So the more manipulatable you'll be if you're not, like, on guard. And I think, and I'm much worse than Johnny Depp. I think he dealt with it much better than I would have dealt with it. I probably would have given her everything and sold my kids to slavery for her. But the way Johnny Depp should have done it, as thinking objectively, not like I would have done it like that. But what he should have done is he should have said, no, I'm not going to marry you. Why don't we try moving in first? Let's see where that goes. Or, you know, before we move in, let's just start working on our relationship and getting to know each other for at least a year. If we still like each other after a year, then you move in. If we move in and we're getting along, then, you know, maybe we'll get married in 5 years. Marriage is not to be taken lightly, I don't think. And yeah, you know what? Amber Heard is gorgeous, but there's a lot of girls that are just as gorgeous as her. Like, she's really not that special. I've met girls just as good looking, if not better looking. Younger, you know. She's really not all that. Just go on RedTube, go look at porn. There's like a dime a dozen. What's the expression? For every gorgeous girl, there's a guy that's sick of effing her. I know it's crude, but it's a good point. And you know another commonality about dingbats, like Amber Heard, is that they're in love with the honeymoon period, and as soon as that wears off, they fly away to another honeymoon period. So they're just in love with the honeymoon period, but they actually don't really give a shit about an actual relationship. They just like that feeling, right? The buzz, the head rush of feeling in love. Another thing I realized is that power trippers never realize when they're power tripping. They think it's real. So she doesn't realize that all of this has been a power trip. This has all just been an ego thing, gratification for her. She's absolutely unaware of it. She would have to be. Now, I knew a girl who did terrible things, and she always said that it wasn't about power. It wasn't about power, and you know, she didn't mean to, and she's so sorry, and she feels so bad. And I'm like, finally, I realized it is a power trip. She just doesn't realize it. So she feels bad, but she did enjoy the power at the time. And the most concrete example I've got is like, okay, when you're at a party or something and you've had a little bit to drink and you start feeling really arrogant and you start mouthing off and maybe you insult somebody because you're just feeling really good about yourself, and then you make an ass out of yourself or you piss somebody off and you realize later, wow, I guess I went out of... Because at the time you didn't think you were power tripping. You just thought you were having a good time. You never thought, hey, I'm going to be an asshole. But you just got a little too, you know, my name is Justin. I got a little drunk and I thought it was the Justin show. So I made it all about myself, and that got annoying. It was an ego trip. I guess my point is that people should be aware that everything they're doing is a power trip, an ego trip. My YouTube is a power trip, an ego trip. And As soon as you deny that you're having a power trip or an ego trip, that's when you're real scum. That's why somebody like Oprah makes me sick. Like, she puts herself on the cover of her own magazine. Like, that's just insane to me. And then she tries to play it like she's not arrogant or she's not like an ego-hungry person. Anybody who says they're not ego power hungry is insane. I have no time for them. Know-it-alls. Fuck that. Like, Lady Gaga wanted to be the voice of her generation. She even wrote a song that she said was an anthem. Born This Way, which was shit. An anthem. You don't call your thing an anthem. It becomes an anthem because people call it that. It's like saying your video's viral. No, it goes viral, and then you could say it was a viral video. As far as I know, that's how it works. But she wanted to be the voice of a generation. Well, then give all your money to your generation then. Why do you have $700 million or whatever the hell you have? Right? Why are you hoarding all that money for yourself if you're such a caring fucking person? You're so giving, right? And you care so much about the community. Why does Oprah Winfrey have $2 billion all for herself? That is disgusting. I mean, that's gluttony to a... Gandhi once said, everything you have that you don't need, you're taking from someone who needs it. So I don't want to hear about how Oprah's pushing a book about self-empowerment when she's taking the power away from everyone else. It's hilarious. And they're all the same, these self-help gurus. As far as I'm concerned, Oprah Winfrey is a cult leader. And she's no different than Anthony Robbins or Ravi, Maharishi Meshi Yogi or Scientology. It's basically, okay, give me all your money and I'll show you how to be self-empowered. Right? Give me all your power and I'll teach you how to be self-empowered. It's a fucking swindle. And like, I was reading about Anthony Robbins, how he abused all his cult members, and he would like smack them and say, I'm smacking you because I want you to stand up for yourself. So you're yelling at somebody and physically abusing them because you're trying to get them to stand up for themselves. And that's essentially what Oprah is. Every week Oprah was selling a new elixir. One week it was the Secret. Another week it was A Million Little Pieces. And, oh, this book will change your life. Dr. Oz. Oh, this is a miracle cure. These are literally magic beans. And then, well then, if these things work, then why do you have a new one every week? Right? If the Secret worked, you could retire. You wouldn't need to like help people anymore. Right? But you're just leading them along. You're just feeding them breadcrumbs. They're bullshit. Alchemists, right? It's like the guy that comes to town and he says, I can turn metal into gold. And then he does a little magic trick and makes it look like he can turn the shit into gold. But I need you to give me all your money. And then they give him all the money. And then the guy's gone the next day. That's Oprah Winfrey. And that's Anthony Robbins. And that's Amber Heard. And that's all the bullshitters. It's all the same shit. And how does this come back to the coronavirus? Oh, because viruses are thriving while people are doing this bullshit. Right? I love how everything can go under the umbrella of Amber Heard or the coronavirus. Right? How much money do you think Oprah spent out of her billions of dollars? How much money do you think she's spent in the last 20 years given to researching, to scientists to research viruses? How much money? Guess. How many episodes of her show did she spend on the possibility of viruses? She's got a huge platform. She had so much power. She still does. How much time did she spend on viruses? Or pollution, for that matter? No, but she was peddling the secret, which is all about how you can will yourself into power. It's like Retard's Guide of the Will, Retard Nietzsche, The Will to Power. So if you don't want to get the coronavirus, just picture yourself not having it. That's how stupid it was. And that's what she was doing. That's what she was spending her time on. So she could get a profit when the secret got sold. Why does the Amber virus exist? Because Oprah was only thinking about putting herself on the cover of her own magazine when this virus was incubating. Right? If Oprah Winfrey had given just $100 million to research on the coronavirus, imagine what that might have done 10 years ago. Oprah Winfrey should have watched Spider-Man, where she would have been told, with great power comes great responsibility. If she's got great power, it's her job to be informed. She should be very aware of the danger. I don't need to be that aware of the danger of viruses because I don't have $1 billion to donate to scientists. But she should be. She should be very aware of where her money should be going. she should be especially aware that her money shouldn't be going to having herself getting nice makeup on so she looks younger than she ever has on her cover of her book. If you ever look at Oprah 20 years ago, she looks older than she looks now. Yeah, whether I've said it before, I don't really give a shit. I have a right to be angry because this could have been prevented. It should have been prevented. Ask any scientist. They'll all tell you the same fucking thing. And pollution's coming in 10 years, 5 years, whatever. Everybody's going to be dead. And then they're going to be like, oh, geez, maybe I shouldn't have been buying the Oprah magazine when I could have been recycling. Maybe instead of buying that SUV, I should have, planted a garden. Fucking retards. Maybe instead of lifting weights, I should have read a book. Because I know those muscles make you feel like a man. But how much of a man do you feel like now with the virus and everything? Because you can't show off your muscles anymore, right? And you don't look cool at the clubs because there are no clubs now. Maybe instead of fighting for gay marriage to be legal, I should have been fighting the fight of let's prevent viruses, right? Because I don't think anybody's going on now about gay marriage and how important it is, right? I don't think so. Even if they wanted to, they'll have to do it at home. So this is my message to Oprah. I don't really give a shit. I know she won't listen because she doesn't. Has she ever listened to anyone? But here's my message to every rich person: give all your money to scientists, and that's it. And that will be the only way you can redeem yourself and save your soul, because you are a despicable piece of garbage, and you are no different than Amber Heard, and you created the coronavirus, not China, although you told China to create it. If you like gays, click like. If you like blacks, comment. If you like women, click notification bell. If you like gay women, subscribe. And if you like gay black women, Patreon, human warnings, give me money.